almost all digital pianos are coming out with apps. Today we look at Yamaha's Smart Pianist app, look at the features and the functions and how it really enhances the user experience.
Hi, this is Ted with Alamo Music Center in beautiful downtown San Antonio, Texas.
I'm Patrick Marr. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, check out our other videos, sign up for notifications, like our videos, leave us comments. We appreciate your support and we love to interact with you.
If I had a tablet, I'd go get it.
I like having it on the phone.
You like the phone?
Well, it kind of reminds people that this is such an easy use of technology. It's something we all carry on us at all times, and it can control your unit at home. So we're talking about the Yamaha Smart Pianist app, an app that came out with the CSP a number of years ago. I think we went to that training together.
Yeah, they had the 150 and the 170.
Mm-hmm. So the CSP, the Smart Pianist kind of concept from...
That was the Space Invader piano with all the lights.
The lights trickle down. We've done videos on the CSP before. Really cool, interesting concept of a digital piano that kind of marries some different concepts together. And
that was the first time that they had that, it's not you or the artist, but it's the deal where you have a song. If you own it in your phone, it'll make a chart for you.
Yeah, and so they took that idea of an application for piano and expanded it to their digital piano lines. Available on a lot of Yamaha's digital pianos, the CLP series specifically, the Arias, some of the new Arias pianos that are out have it. The P515, the P125. This is something, an application that kind of unlocks access to what is already in the instrument. So we've seen this from some manufacturers. It's not adding extra content to your unit. It's not going to give all the sounds of the CLP 785 behind us into a P125, but what it's doing is unlocking what's in the unit and expanding it so you have a touch interface.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we're all used to using our phone. So I'm going to get my phone out. I know, rude. How rude of me.
Yeah.
But we're going to be taking a look at the app Smart Pianist from Yamaha. So I'm here in the home screen, and we'll have my screen pop up here a couple times, but I'm here in the home screen of the piano room. So when you open up the application, you're automatically in the piano room. Just a really nice feature because it shows...
Go ahead.
It shows, the 9-foot Yamaha CFX piano with a backdrop.
And you can touch it and open and close the lid, and it changes the sound.
Yeah, that was one of...
Because this one here, you can't do it by touch. You have to go in to hit the arrows and tell it up and down. But on there, you just go in and touch the picture.
Yeah. So what Ted's talking about is if you go down on the lid, it will close the lid and open it back up. Just a cool little small feature that makes it very, real. What does that do? And you can hear the difference when you're playing it. But
in the room too.
It dampens the sound. So getting it connected, first off, you want to hit these 3 bars on your top left corner. Down there at the bottom, you see where it says utility and instrument. It's already connected to the CLP 785 behind me, but if it wasn't, you would click instrument. It takes you there, and then you kind of just connect. You can start the connection wizard. Very easy to get this thing up and running. That's always kind of your main menu is that top left 3 bars. Kind of, it's kind of...
Now I know.
What we've come to know in applications, depending on what you're using, that's usually the message.
But it's a fun app to use because all the little insignias and stuff, when you touch them, it does something. It takes you to another screen.
Yeah, and so we'll take a look at the app again. And so one of the really cool things here is able to change the atmosphere around the piano. What you're talking about, you're able to kind of go in and change the backdrop of the instrument.
Right.
So we'll click through here: recital hall, concert hall, chamber, cathedral, club, and then off. And so what's that doing? That's messing with the reverb. That's messing with the atmosphere around the instrument.
The bouncing delays plus the reverb.
So just kind of makes it a unique experience with the piano. So you can switch through your different instruments. It obviously starts on the nicest sample that they have, or second nicest, first nicest.
Bosendorfer, CFX, hey, they're both there.
So you can swipe through these pianos. The Bosendorfer and the Yamaha CFX are right there as your top 2 pianos. And you can continue to swipe through Studio Grand, upright piano, honky-tonk piano. And so just some real easy to use features right there on the front page. And you go through, mess with all the sounds, kind of change all that, and save presets if you like. Hey, the Bosendorfer sounds great with the cathedral backdrop. You can go in and actually save that when you click the registration memory down at the bottom. Also, opening up metronome is pretty easy. If you click the bottom down there, it looks like a metronome. You click that, you can go through beats, rhythms, things like that. We have it on swing right now, but you can kind of go through and look at all the things that they have to offer there. And anything that's not like the 1, 2, 3, 4 count, it's going to have a bass built into it, and you can turn that bass off down here in the bottom, and also kind of.
It's just so much better to use a drummer than a click.
Yeah.
Because the click, a lot of times, what's a little goofy about metronomes is that they always put the emphasis on one. So you're like the dude at the concert that's clapping on the wrong beat.
Yeah.
Because the emphasis really isn't on one, that's just where the start counts. So if you have a drummer, it's a lot better off because you get that kick drum and that snare on number 2, and then you have a feel.
Yeah, and so, this kind of opens up playing to a beat, getting your rhythm down. A really cool tool there, and you can adjust volume as well. When all that's going together, in the bottom right, there's an actual mixer, which is nice. So say the mix on the drum beat is too loud, you can go in and auto adjust the volume. Make sure that your piano can be heard and is in present form right there. One of my favorite parts of this app is if you're on a screen and you don't know what it does, or you don't know what to click, if you click this question mark here up at the top, it highlights everything. It tells you, hey, you're in the piano room. This mode gives you a greater enjoyment of the piano performance. You can read all that. But whatever you click on, CFX Grant, it's going to tell you what you can do with that utility and kind of what it is. Swipe up or down, open to close the lid. So it kind of tells you where to go. It's a guide. And so that yellow question mark is your friend. You can always turn it on and off by clicking it. Really just a nice feature. So this is the piano room. Really a really cool place to make the piano yours. We've gone over this in other videos, but the virtual technician idea that Kawai has done with some of their digital pianos. Same idea here. So yeah, if you click here in the top right next to the question mark, you have piano room settings. And so the piano room settings, you can do the lid position instead of clicking and dragging it, brightness, touch curve, environment, master tune it, VRM. And if you click on this, so let's click on the VRM, it's going to give you what that does in a description. Really kind of cool. And you can auto adjust if you want it on or off on some of these. Let's say the brightness, it's a sliding scale of bright to mellow. So you can really go in and change a lot of these and have your own manufactured piano basically, and then save that function down there at the bottom next to the record button. There is where you can save your registration memory.
So like if you altered parameters and got your own, you give it a name?
Yeah,
like
you can save it right there, and then you can go back and recall that memory. So just a really cool feature, and kind of making an instrument yours and bringing life to a digital piano that is, can sometimes be like, okay, this is the sample they gave me, but really it's the sample that you're manipulating and changing into your own. So that's the piano room. Really kind of, I think, the meat of the app. It's a lot of fun to use, and it kind of highlights that, hey, this is a performance instrument. The piano is a performance instrument. It has features like electric pianos and organs and strings. And I remember those are the first things as a kid you go and want to go press through.
Check it out, see how good the sounds are.
But the piano room kind of gives you a whole bunch of options to dig in to the piano.
And you can change the venue too.
That's change the venue, change the piano. So that is the piano room. Let's go here to the top to voices. And this breaks down voices available to you. Really kind of intuitive touch menu. So on things like the P125, this is, I think, a really good place to have selections because you have the app in front of you. So you click the piano, you can go through whatever pianos are available, or whatever voices are available to you in the unit. So
it's on those other units like the P125. It's easier to use the app than it is the controls on the
to click through and hold the button and stuff like that. So you can click on forte pianos. You can add these to your favorites if you like. If you star them, the organs. You can go through all these and make it pretty easy. It's pretty intuitive to find those. And then you can also click on your layer function and layer piano, so you can add, say, strings to your piano, and then it kind of shows you there at the bottom the blue and orange bar across all 88 keys. It kind of shows you that's layering on all 88 levels. If you click left there, it's going to add bass, and you can kind of change that split point wherever you want to. So you can bring it all the way up to the top. And so this is going to make the unit up to 3 different voices layered on the right voicing, and a left voice where you can add bass or whatever you want to that. Very easy. You can touch on any of these to change the voicing, acoustic bass. Say you want that left side to just be a marimba, and so you can do all that. Again, saving registration. So yeah, so changing that split point is a really cool feature. And save the registration, have everything set up for you. Really kind of makes this a very user-friendly, easy experience. Again, there is in the top right corner, there is a mixer that you can get to. And if you click on that, you can change the pan. So whether you want it to be in the left speaker, the right speaker, you can kind of balance it or add reverb and different types of reverb here. So this is really a cool mixer. If you have all 3 voices on, you can pan, effects to your right channel or your left channel. So really kind of fun to mess around with and kind of understand how a mixer works in conjunction with your piano. A cool exercise would be having headphones on and doing this and kind of really hearing the spatial change. It does work also on the natural speakers that come out.
It does, but on the headphones, if you're using the virtual technician, you can really, really hear the details of what each of those damper resonance and those you can. It's not required, but it certainly helps if you have your headphones on, because you can really see the extremes between hardly any and a lot.
Yeah, and one of the other things besides the mixer is octave control. So you can choose which octave you want, especially so say you're splitting the keyboard on the low octave for marimba we were talking about, on that lower bass section. You can +1, +2 on the octave, so it doesn't register like
low notes.
Yeah, on the real low marimba notes that don't exist. It's you can whatever voice you have, you can transpose individual parameters. So a really cool setting right there. And so that is the voice section. Again, really kind of intuitive, easy to use, makes it much easier than menu diving on a keyboard. So that brings us to our last section, the song section here. Song section is a really cool part of this app. This is kind of where the app becomes, very user inviting. And Yamaha has demo songs on the unit. It has lesson songs on the app, depending on which model you have. So let's look real quick. If you tap here to select the song, that's where you'll see your favorite songs, if you favorited any, the 50 classics, the lessons, demo songs, music library, user songs. So let's do a classics first. So Canon in D. It will take a second to load there. And you can hit done. And then it will show you actually the sheet music for the instrument, or for the song. Shows you it's in D. And kind of shows you the play along while you play the song. So
turns the page for you when it gets there.
It does. And so there's different passages. If you hit over on the over arrow, you can change the score. You can change it to chords. If it's a song with lyrics, you can actually see the lyrics. And there is a whole bunch of music available on Yamaha's website with MusicSoft that you can add into this field, where you can buy, your favorite Coldplay songs or Beatles songs. And it will all communicate with the app smoothly, seamlessly. They've spent a lot of time working with copyright lawyers and figuring out how they can get music that is owned by somebody onto your app in a usable format.
In a chord chart.
And a chord chart.
In a chord chart. Or, well, the one they had an example that they used at the training seminar we went to, and it was kind of interesting because it gave you almost exactly what the artist plays, and then it gives you what they did, 6 or 7 different alternatives.
Yeah, there's variations.
The variations come out, which is going to be different than the recording, but it's like another way to interpret the song.
You're getting a little ahead here because that is on the next feature. So these are songs. There's preset songs that come with the app, and there's songs that you can purchase through MusicSoft. There is a really cool piece of technology that Ted's talking about here, which is
that's what you're getting at there.
Which is the music library. So if you click on the music library, it will pull up, and this is the music on this phone that's coming up, but it will actually pull music from, if it's your phone, if it's your iPad, whatever device you're using, it will pull the music from that. And if you own the file, so It's not going to work with streaming services. So with Apple specifically, it will show a lot of your Apple Music stuff, and when you click through and try to find the song, it will be grayed out because you don't own the files. But say you purchase these files and you have, like, you go through the iTunes store, which I know is an old piece of technology, but iTunes store, and you buy the album and you own the files, you actually have the right to go and use those files.
Look at that music.
Yeah, look at the music in the file. And what the app does is it converts the sound. It's literally listening to the audio and it's converting it to chord charts. And there's different variations of the chords, but it's, I would say, about 80 to 90% accurate.
It's pretty spot on. It keeps you from having to guess. I mean, sometimes, the more you do it, the easier it is to figure out a song. The nice thing about it is you don't have to pull out a piece of paper and a pencil and write your notes or make your own chord chart.
So yeah,
it gives it to you.
You go through your music library, find a piece of music that you own, that you've bought or there's in your music library, and then you click on it and it takes a minute, but then it loads and it shows you the chord chart.
Well, it has to listen to it.
Yeah.
It's got to listen. It's got to go through, process it, and then change it into a chord chart.
And if in the settings there's a way to go through variations and say, hey, that one, this one's close, but is there something that changes it? And you can change if it's in 4/4 or 3/4, and some of those features. So just a really cool piece of technology that kind of is growing with the instrument, because I think they've made updates to it since we went to the training 5 or 6 years ago. But really a cool piece of technology. And then there's the recording function on here that makes it super easy to record. In the bottom left, at any point in the app, you can hit that record function and record MIDI format. It gave me a loading screen here, but are you sure you want to record a new song to the MIDI format? So you can do recordings of MIDI, recordings of audio, and it's pretty easy to get that to upload, and you can save that in your songs. It's a very cool piece of technology. But yeah, so that's the Smart Pianist app from Yamaha. I think it's one of the coolest apps that's available on the market.
It's easier to use than the keyboard.
Yeah, it's easier to go through the app than it is to go through menu diving and to figure all that out. But yeah, it's a great app. I think it's fun. It's user friendly, and I think we'll see more and more of these applications come out for instruments that are being released. And so yeah, so the Smart Pianist app. If you've had an option or if you've already used the Smart Pianist app, it's something that's been around for a little bit. I'm sure people would love to hear what you love about it, what you don't like about it, cool features that might be not on the surface level that you kind of have to menu dive to find. But there's a lot of cool applications for the Smart Pianist, and specifically with that chord chart reader. It's one of our favorite parts of the technology. But leave your comments. Make sure you are letting others know what you like about it and what you would change about it, or if you think there's something better on the market. We've only heard really nice things about the Smart Pianist app, and we love it here at the store. Really kind of opens up the instrument to be...
We've had a couple customers that had the CSPs, and they swear that part of converting a file into a chord chart is worth the cost of the instrument.
Yeah, no.
Because they like playing it along with music.
It's very cool. It's very cool. Well, thank you guys for watching. Again, this is Yamaha's Smart Pianist app, available on Android, on Apple. Really a cool application.
It's fun too.
Thank you guys for watching.